What up, gang? Welcome back to the channel. Today working on the F30, and I want to give a huge thank you to Keys Motorsports for sponsoring today's video. I have a new part today, thank you to Keys, and we're going to be putting it on the F30. It's something that really any N20, N26 really should upgrade once you're tuned and pushing more boost. And what are we talking about? If you guys can't already tell by the thumbnail and the title, it's a boost pipe. It is the pipe going from your front mount intercooler to your charge pipe. We come over and pop the bonnet, and you come over to this side here, underneath here, and it's pretty hard to see, but there's a hose that I'm actually touching right now, and that is the boost pipe hose that goes from the turbo to the front mount intercooler. Similar to the charge pipe, the reason a lot of people upgrade this is just the material that the stock one is made out of is not too great, so it is prone to expanding the rubber and even possibly popping the rubber hose itself as you're pushing more boost. I'll go ahead and show you the difference in the new part that Keys sent us and why it's so much better. Huge shout out to Keys, guys. If you need anything, please head over to their website for all your F30 needs. But let's go ahead and open this up. Try and do this with one hand here. Alright, so looks like we got a couple pieces. I guess we can start with this one. This looks like the turbo side, I believe, with a rubber coupling and a couple of clamps that we can use to put that on there. But right off the bat, this aluminum feels pretty solid. I'm assuming it's aluminum. It looks like it comes with the gaskets we're going to need, so we shouldn't need to replace them. It comes with new clips, so we shouldn't need to even use the OEM ones that are on there. We have new ones. This is the new metal boost pipe. So you can see, obviously it is metal. It's a anodized, looks like a black anodized aluminum, and it's got the same nice coupling on the other end, which I believe this side goes on to the front mount. Here's a look at the whole piece kind of just assembled, so you can tell, again, I believe this side with the FTP Motorsport logo is on the front mount intercooler side, and I believe this is going to go into the turbo side. So obviously you can tell we have a rubber coupling here which connects the black piece to this, connects the black piece to this piece here, and then you've got the two clamps that you can secure onto this and make sure we don't have any boost leaks. But for starters, we got to basically uninstall the OEM one. The process is pretty simple. What we have to do is disconnect a black tab on the top of this hose by the turbo, and then remove that retaining clip, and then do the same thing by the front mount intercooler. But in order to get access to that side, we're going to have to basically lift up the front of the car, take off the belly pan that's protecting all of the underparts, and then that will give us access to the front mount intercooler side. I don't think this is gonna work too well, guys. Took some finagling, but I was able to make it up onto the ramps. I just had to move to this part of the driveway because for some reason over here just wasn't working. I couldn't get the front splitter up and over the ridges, but I guess it works here. So now we're in good shape. I didn't run the car long, so hopefully the motor is not too hot, and we should still be able to go in under the bonnet and work on this without burning our hands. So let's take a look. Again, right down here is the boost pipe. So what I want to do is, before I disconnect anything up there, underneath you see all this foam pad here. Basically need to take out, I think it's 8 or maybe 10 mils. I'm missing a bunch, as probably many of you guys are too, but just take enough out so you can kind of get access to right here on the left side of the motor, or the passenger side of the motor, because that is the part where we're going to need access to the front mount intercooler to get that side of the fitting placed on. Little trick for you if you end up taking off bolts during the installation process. I like to just shoot them into the cardboard box of whatever part I'm installing, just that way I don't lose them, and if I kick the box around or something, they don't go flying. But I ended up taking about, 5 bolts? Yeah, I took about 5 bolts off of this, and now it's basically allowed me access. right here, so you can see the bottom of the front mount intercooler, and right there is the clip that we're gonna have to undo for the front mount intercooler side of this boost pipe. Looking at the top of the boost pipe, I'm gonna go ahead and try and get the top end disconnected. So what it is a black clip that you need to remove, and then you saw the metal retaining clip that was on the new part. The same thing goes for the stock one. So I'm gonna go ahead and try and get this removed. Best tip would be to take a little poker tool like this to try and pry up that piece of black plastic, so that way we can take the metal retaining clip off. I just got the little black retaining clip off. You just have to basically grab a side and try and pry it up. I'm sorry the camera angle sucks right now. I did actually find it easier to unlock the top one from the underside of the car. So you can see this pipe is pretty twisted right now. Let me see if I can get my hand back up there. Yeah, it's hard to see, but right where my finger's tapping is where you were able, or where I was able to unlock that clip with the little pry tool. And now we just have to take the metal retaining clip out. I got the metal retaining clip out. That's what that looks like. And once I get the whole thing out, I'll kind of show you how it's assembled, because the camera is really hard to get in good place for you guys. I'm gonna do my best here to show you guys with the camera, but there's a black tab right here, this plastic tab on the bottom side. And what I want to do is just kind of push it up and get it off of there, which is very difficult to do with one hand and a camera. Yeah guys, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand, so I'm gonna have to show you what it looks like when I get it taken out. So now I got the bottom retaining clip off, and you can tell this is loose, so we should just be able to pry this up and over, and that should come off the front mount side. So then we just need to reach our hand up top and try and loosen the upper portion off of the turbo. Took some finagling, guys, but I got the stock boost pipe out, and this is what it looks like. So this is the turbo side, this is the front mount side, and it kind of just sits in there like that. So obviously you can tell that this is just a very flimsy rubber plastic, and the reason you want to replace this is it's prone to breaking around the seals or even tearing due to increasing boost. So it's good that we're getting this replaced. Real quick, one thing I want to point out on the OEM boost pipe, and not so much on the front mount side, but not so much on the turbo side, but down by the front mount you can see some oil residue, which isn't good to have in your intake system. So I'm hopefully going to be picking up a oil catch can here pretty soon, which should solve this problem. But either way, good to know. It's not too excessive, so definitely nothing too damaging. But anytime you see stuff in your intake or your charge pipe or your front mount or your boost pipe, probably time for an oil catch can, which is very common with these turbo cars. Quick update. So I got the turbo side on right there. It's so hard to show you guys. I'm sorry this install video is not too informative, but I'm trying to do my best to get you all the good angles. But I got the small silver piece, which is the turbo side, attached right here with the clip. And basically what I had to do, and I'll try and just show you with this side, basically I put the clip on the very lip like this, so that way the ridges are right where the holes are, so that way it can just basically pop right into place. So what I did was I put it on the turbo and then ever so slightly pulled on the clip, and it just clicked into place like that, and everything is where it needs to be. Whoop, like that. So we should be good on the turbo side. Now we can replicate it on the front mount intercooler side and get this one all attached. Change of plan. So I didn't put this piece in yet. I actually decided to put on this rubber coupling here that the kit comes with. So I just slid it onto the turbo side and put my little loose pieces here that these clamps will basically clamp down and secure this. That way there's no leaks. But make sure you orient these screws in such a way that it's easy for you to put your hand basically where mine is and just attach a screwdriver right there and crank this down. If you angle it the wrong way or maybe put it on the back side, you're gonna have a hard time making sure that there's no leaks and that these are actually tight. So now that these are on there, all that is hypothetically left to do is attach this one and get its retaining clip put on, attach the front mount side to this coupler, and then just make sure we have no boost leaks by tightening down these two clamps. After much playing around, I was able to successfully get all three pieces in. I have not put the retaining clips in yet, but as you can see, I've got the anodized front mount side put in, I basically took the rubber coupling and shoved it all the way onto this anodized side, so that way it's not poking over at all. And then you can barely tell right there is the turbo side. So that side is in, and now all I have to do is put the retaining clips on, slide this coupling forward so it fits onto the turbo side, and then put those two clamps on. It did take a lot of finagling and trial and error, so I basically tried all sorts of different routes, and what I ended up having to do is loosening the two bolts underneath the front mount just to give it a little bit of play, so that way I gain enough access to get those three pieces, the coupling, the turbo side fitting, and the front mount side fitting all on there. And I think now it's pretty much ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and put the retaining clips on and get this thing buttoned up. I just tightened the lower bolts on the front mount so it's seated where we need it to be. I've got all three pieces basically connected, so now the black anodized piece connects to the coupler, and the coupler connects and slides over the turbo side. So all I need to do now is take these two clamps right here and tighten them down, and then check for boost leaks. You can now see those two pieces are on there and tightened down. Make sure you don't tighten this clamp too tight. You want it to be very snug, but not so tight that the metal is gonna basically pinch a hole in the rubber casing. So just make sure it's on there tight and snug, and I think I have everything buttoned up now. So before I go ahead and close the bonnet and reattach the belly pan, I want to turn the car on and grab some soapy water and just check to make sure we're not getting any boost leaks anywhere. We're gonna go ahead and turn the car on. Sounds normal so far, so that's a good sign. I grabbed a spray bottle with some soapy water, and I want to go ahead and spray all the fittings that we just installed and make sure that we're not getting any bubbles forming, which would be basically a tell sign that there is a boost leak. Not seeing any bubbles forming, so that's a good sign. Now let's just go ahead and spray the other side, make sure that we don't have anything. Now I'm underneath the N26, and we have the other fitting right here, so I'll just go ahead and spray that. And try not to get dripped on here. I did get some on the camera, sorry about that, but as you guys can tell, no bubbles are forming, so it looks like we may have a good seal on all sides of this boost pipe. I just finished everything up, so now I'm gonna go out and take the F30 for a test drive, just make sure there's no boost leaks, we're hitting the right boost pressure, and that there's no funky stuff going on. So hopefully everything goes well. We can call this a successful install, but let's see how she sounds. Alright, so far no errors. I'm not putting it under any boost yet. I just want to make sure everything seems okay. We're not getting any lights, but so far so good. I don't hear any noises. Everything seems to be acting pretty normally. I'm going to go ahead and give it some boost now. Everything sounds pretty normal, to be honest. Still not hearing anything weird. No limp mode, which is always a good sign. I think I'll try and put it into sport next and see if we can push the boost up a little bit more. All right, actually feels even more responsive than before, as hard as that is to believe. The boost pipe shouldn't really affect throttle response, but I don't know why. It just feels like everything's spooling faster and being a little bit more responsive. So we might have actually had a boost leak on that stock pipe is what I'm thinking this whole time, and I didn't really even know it, but it does feel a little bit more just quick to respond to the gas pedal. Seems to be holding boost fine, which is good. See how the cracks and bangs, make sure those still work. Yep, pops and bangs still work. Just wanted to make sure. I definitely think I might have had a boost leak before because it just spools up way better now. Holy shit. This car always just surprises me. It's like every new mod, it just becomes even more of an animal. It's crazy. And like I said, this shouldn't even really give us much of a power gain, if anything. I think it's just more so getting better quality piping on your intercooler and your turbo. So I'm definitely happy with it, but again, if I fixed a boost leak on accident, that's even better. I love all the sounds this car makes. So many turbo sounds. Just spooling and then some pops and bangs. It's the best. I love having an N26. Oh my gosh, this car is too fun. It's too fun. Oh my gosh. Boom mode's going nuts right now. I got a nice gash on my nose from my front splitter trying to get underneath it, so I guess that's cool. But this thing is just ripping right now. Oh, it's got those little upshift farts. Sounds so good. Oh my gosh. These people, I'm gonna hold off on the pops and bangs real quick because I'm gonna literally scare the crap out of them and their dog. Oh, this car's too fun. All right, so I guess now the only thing to do is pop the hood and make sure that the coupler stayed on there and nothing fell off. Oh, that's not good. And we won't be checking underneath the bonnet because my hood won't open now. I think I spotted a loose, and I thought it was my e-brake cable, but I guess it was my hood latch cable. I noticed that it was loose when I was working on the boost pipe, and now look, it just won't come up. It released once on this side, but the second lock will not release. So if I go over here, it's just not releasing, and that really sucks. So if I try to push it back down without putting a giant dent in my hood, which I can't even do anymore, but it only pops up once. So I guess where one mod ends, another mod begins. If you guys have any suggestions on how I can open my bonnet again to try and get that cable fixed, put it down in the comments, please. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time. And a huge shout out again to Brian over at Keys Motorsports for helping out the channel. I love the shirt, love the merch, love everything you guys are doing. So I appreciate to be a part of the family and helping you guys grow and helping you guys help me grow. So thank you. Anyways, guys, thank you again so much for watching. I'll see you next time and keep elevating.